Conversation. Conversations with my sister, a live talk experience with delegates, queens, and allies of the Miss Full Figure DMV pageant about the world of pageantry and various daily topics. I am Director Lorene Comer Ross, a woman full of ambition, passion, and a love for my fellow sister. Well, good evening, everyone. It's been a little while. It hasn't been that long, but long enough to say hello. Hope everyone had a beautiful day today. Today was actually really nice, despite that we had the rain the day before. So God gave us a little bit of sunshine, and I'm going to bring you even more sunshine today because it has been a little bit of time since our queen has been crowned. So now today we get to finally sit down and debrief and talk to Queen Natalie Babaniyi, who is newly crowned your mythful figure, USA plus National Queen 2022. I am so excited. So I ain't gonna make you wait any longer. So without further ado, I'm bringing in our current reigning national queen. Hello, Queen.
Hi, Director. Hello, everybody.
Oh my God, you look so good. Well, I should have known better. That's why I put on my green. I knew it was going to be a talk about everything related to you and your platform, and the color
Yes.
definitely the sign of that manifestation. How have your aftermath been? Not giving too much, but just a little.
I think I'm still taking it in. I'm excited. I'm happy. Um, there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in the aftermath. So I think that's where I'm at.
Makes sense. I mean, I'll tell you this much. Anytime, even from me just achieving just something that you work so hard for a long period of time, no matter what it is, it takes you a moment to take it in when it comes to fruition at this magnitude right now, right where you at. And I cannot put in as many words as I want because sometimes I'm skipping on my words because I'm still really, really excited about the fact that you achieve becoming the national queen. It's just, and it's just so freaking amazing. But after the pageant, the reason why we didn't get to talk so quickly, Queen, you done whisked away with Fat Girls Travel. How was your trip?
Yes, Fat Girls Travel 2 took over Egypt for a week. It was a nice experience. Egypt is a wonderful country. It's filled with lots of history. I got to visit the pyramids. I did a hot air balloon ride in Luxor. It was amazing. I really love all the experiences that Fat Girls Travel 2 curates.
Let me tell you, the closest I got to Lexor was in Nevada.
Like Vegas, Luxor. I've been there too.
That's the closest I done got to that. But Fat Girl Travel is also another one of your businesses that you own, correct?
Correct. I am half the duo behind Fat Girls Travel 2. Me and my business partner, Ashley, Simply Curvy. We operate Fat Girls Travel 2 and we curate travel experiences for plus size women.
I love that. Now, going into some of the things or the many hats that you wear before we get to this new hat that was placed upon your head, as I would say, filled with jewels placed upon your head. You really talk a lot about your platform and you're very passionate about your platform. Let's give the people what they want. Tell them all about your platform, Queen.
Yes. Okay. So my platform is Exchanging Generational Curses for Generational Wealth, and it focuses on financial literacy for minority women. And it's just encouraging minority women to be intentional about their finances, letting them know that it's possible to create generational wealth, and it's something that we need to focus on so that we can I don't even say have a seat at the table, create our own table.
I like that because I think I don't I know I have heard it before when you people have said, well, you're complaining about not having a seat at the table, make your own. And you're
Yes,
complaining about not having a road to go down, make your own road.
there
Start
you
building your
go.
own on
Exactly.
the way down. That is awesome sauce, awesome sauce. So let's get into this pageant weekend. Let's first start off by saying that we went into this pageant weekend as a quad along with uh, bundles of support, right? So
Yeah.
just showing this picture here, right there is boom. How y'all doing,
Oh,
sis? How y'all doing, sis?
yes. Oh,
The Miss Full Figure DMV 2021 Queen's Royal Court. We have
yeah.
our exquisite queen, my God, Miss Nakia Brooks. Then we have our Miss Full Figure Queen, Melanie Rouse. And then we have Natalie Babaniyi, our
Yeah.
queen. And you know, I'm right there snug in the middle of all this.
Right? Yes.
Let's just talk about the support that you and your sisters gave each other while preparing to go into this process. How important did you feel that was?
I really believe that I'm my sister's keeper, right? And I think it's very important to always be uplifting to the women around you and to feel uplifted by the women around you. And so our royal court came behind the national royal court that had a queen sweep, right? So I feel like we had big shoes to fill. And for us, I think it was very important for us, and we talked about it, to develop our own relationship. Like, we didn't need to compare it to somebody else. We didn't need to be like another group. We needed to develop something organically between us, right? And whatever it was, that's what we wanted it to develop organically. And I think that's what's happened. I think it took some time, but I think not I think, I know that in the end, I mean, a lot of things happening when you're preparing for the national pageant, things that you can expect, unexpected, expected, but don't believe when it happens, like just so much, right? And so we really, things came up good and bad, and we had each other's back.
I would say so because I was right in the middle of that cookie crumble, you
Yeah.
know, and I really believe that it takes a lot of that cake. You know how I talk about the cake and the win is really the icing to it. However, the cake go through a whole lot. You got to put a lot of ingredients in it. And do we use a mixer, which is really called a beater, to get it
Yeah.
all
Yes.
mixed up? And
Mixed
you feel like that sometimes when everything come to a head. Like it's pageant weekend, all the things that we did to get to this point. It's like now it's about to showcase for those who don't necessarily get to be close to us through our process, get to see, right? Oh my God, it's time for everybody to see. So now we have got to this point, and that photograph was taken when we was doing preliminaries. That was preliminary night, and that night was full of so many emotions, so many things that go on. But I would say true form, the three of you handle everything with grace, poise, and excellence. And I must say how proud I am of the three of you. Let's talk about the nerves that comes into play when we're going to nationals. We did a little thing where I asked everybody, capture yourself coming to nationals in some of our attire, right? Our
up.
apparel, our apparel. And I just loved seeing everybody coming for that moment.
Yeah.
Does that help you to know that I'm going for this? Like this is where I'm going.
I'm a very driven person. It comes with it's a plus and a negative, right? Because I'm my own biggest critic. Like you have to know me to understand it. You have to be around me to see how it is. You have to put me in an intense situation for you to see like that she really is. And people always tell me like give yourself grace. And I believe I need to, but I am my own biggest critic. So I'm always have my eyes on the prize, and any little thing that I just miss or do, I'm like, oh, Natalie, like you're just messing this up. What's wrong with you? So yes, I like looking at where I'm going, putting my eye on the prize, um, constantly.
Yeah. Let's just talk about the fact that it's no secret when it comes to your wardrobe. We're gonna get to that too. Preparing for the pageant, like you leave no stone unturned. And I know through the process, for me, I was like, Lordy, what else she's pulling out? I don't know what's gonna happen next.
I
I
don't know
have
what she's
no
gonna do. What's she gonna do?
But before we get there, I want to also talk about the part where we got an opportunity to actually live in our queendom by giving back to the community. I know that the what they say the plus for me, the
Plus
plus
for me.
the plus part of our organization got together and did something together. I think was it Thursday that y'all did something upon a viral.
Yes. So on Thursday, Queen Morgan, she is the Miss Full Figured Georgia Plus queen, and she works at a school.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there and we did a community service where we kind of had, it was like, I like to call it like a brown paper bag lunch type of situation where we talked with young women and they got to sign up and register if they wanted to speak with us. And we had a panel just discussing actually questions and issues that they brought up.
I love that. And then we got as a group to come in on Friday, which was organized by our director of the Georgia and Alabama pageant, Latoya Francois, for another community event, which I love because at that time we got to mix and mingle with the other division queens and other division directors. And I love this picture of us. Again, there we go. There we go.
Yes.
There for inside of that school, which I felt like that was so amazing. It
Yes.
gave us a great opportunity to kind of, sit back and do something together as a whole. I thought that was very mindful and very important. How did that play a part in how you feel in starting your week international?
So I think through my life and throughout this journey, if you look back at my journey through DMV and nationals, service is very important to me. I'm intentional about service. Even as a delegate, I did like the lunches and I organized lunches so that we could feed the community in DC, the transient community. But it's a service for me. I always say that. People say, like, what do you think this is about? And I think it's a service and the sisterhood. That is it's the fundamental. You have to have a foundation and your foundation has to be purposeful and service is essential.
I agree. And that's what one of the key things that I want to make sure a lot of people are aware of, that the first thing for us is the service.
Yeah.
You state what you're going to do for your community and you follow through. Getting pretty, putting on makeup and putting on pretty dresses only lasts for so long.
Yes.
However, your impact and service can be a lasting and memorable experience for those who are impacted by it and those who give out that service as well. It's food for the soul. I would say it's food for the soul to
Absolutely.
do so. And Queen, you are simply top notch when it comes to that as well, which makes me go to the start of actual pageant, the things happening. So this picture,
That's
ooh,
me.
that's you just before interview. Talk us through the what's going through our queen mind right there in that moment. Like this is happening right there.
Okay, so yep, it was interviews, and we were interviewed by the directors every section. So full figured plus and exquisite, we were interviewed by different directors. And so what was going through my mind was that the directors are essential to the Miss Full Figured brand, right? And I think it is important. to me, it was important for them to understand who I am, right? Like you asked me a question, I want you to be able to get an understanding of who I am. So it was important to me. I was sitting there analyzing, like, okay, what are they going to ask me? I have a very corporate, have the ability to have a very corporate demeanor, right? So I wanted to strike a balance between, of course, very professional, but also because it's an interview, right? But also heartfelt. Like I want them to understand who I am, right? And so that's what was going through my head.
It's that moment when you're like, okay, so these people are about to ask us some questions because now we're these people. We need to make sure that I understand that I'm.
Yeah.
And it was intentionally where though it was put in a position where each group was split amongst the directors. And I just want to take a moment because if those who haven't didn't see there, our CEO and founder Teresa Randolph is in the building. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? We want to give that acknowledgement to Miss Teresa.
Yes. Hi, Miss Teresa.
And I know I wanted to say like the interview process to us give us another opportunity to see you in a different way. It's more of a formal structure way to get to know the queens versus just having a casual conversation, because baby, it's no casual conversation there, even though we say it is, but you have to be ready for
Ready.
the no. So after interview, I mean, and let's get into it. And I'm gonna, baby, when it comes to this wardrobe of yours, it was definitely a sight to see. And I don't know if y'all seen this. Again, I'm bringing this picture back up because this is the actual preliminary outfit. And look, this was nothing but mwah. I love it, honey. They can't see that detail as much as I know of that detail
Yeah.
with the snake skin inside of that suit. But I'm just about to flash through this fashion, and then I want you to really talk about this fashion real right now, and then how you wrapped your mind about what you was how you came up with it. But before we get there, and we just talked about the support of the ones who came, because we had a lot of support that came from the DMV area to support the three of our 2020 queens to be
Yes.
there. And this is one of my favorite moments, and I live big on this moment. And if you don't know this moment, this is the moment just before our queens were entering into the world of main stage national. This is after all the rehearsals, after everything that go on. This is the moment that we say, this is what you get from us, and they go in. And we have a hashtag was developed back in 2018 by our ambassador Charmaine Johnson, who is simply amazing. Love her, love her, love her, love her.
Yes, that's my mentor.
Yes, pleasure mentor. And
Yeah.
her hashtag was MSFFDMV takes over USA. It was never, it was meant to say, we are here to stay. We are here to be here for our sisters. And then this year you added another quote saying, let's have a winning spirit. And a
Winning
winning
spirit.
spirit matches everything that's happening, right? I'm here to win, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, my spirit is out there for all to understand. I feel that they all are enough for this situation.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that moment a little bit when we came together? How was that important to you?
I enjoyed it. So, you and I talked a little bit. Okay, so most people don't know. I'll get a little transparent on the live. I have anxiety, right? I have anxiety. Most people would never know. Of course, I'm an attorney. I'm well versed in speaking with people. Most people would never know. I'm an extrovert also, right? But I have anxiety. And I said to my lovely director, I said, um I'm nervous about the intro walk. I said, because I remember it happening for the queens before, and I said, I don't want to have an anxiety attack, right? And I said, I think it's lovely, right? But I was worried, but it was lovely. I think something that I really appreciated. I think that embodied I think you embodied each of us, right? What each of the queens that were competing wanted, right? I think you had me, who I was like, I'm a little have anxiety about this, and I don't want to get like too nervous with it. And then we had some of my queen sisters who my queen sister,
Louder the better.
yeah, yeah, my queen sister, like Mel was like, I want us to have this thing come in there and wop, wop, wop. And I'm like, okay, 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 right? So I was like, I'm a little nervous, but if you guys want it, I'll be there, you know? And I loved how it was a balance. I think it was a balance. I think the prayer was very moving, and I loved the balance. It was a good balance for me. So I did enjoy it.
Wonderful. You think about, you go through this together, right? We go through this together. And you think about it in a team mindset, and I always say this, you think about a gymnastic team because they are the most diverse. You have
Yeah.
people who do the floor routine, people who do the balance thing, but it
Yeah.
all have their objective. And in this situation at nationals, we have the plus crown, the full figure crown, the exquisite crown. But together we're going in understanding that we must support each other through this process. And I believe that knowing that you have extra support, that you can fall left and right and someone will catch you, is just very important to me. And you're right. We had the transparent conversation about how that looks for us this year, I definitely wanted to take all in consideration because I didn't want you to go in and be like, oh my God, my head is blown off. I'm having this situation, but I also know how what it does for some people to know that that love is there, the support is
Yeah.
truly here, and we want to show you that we're here to be here. So I thank you for allowing that moment to happen with you, and I'm even more blessed by God that He found a way to make sure it manifested in the way it needed to. And it
Yes.
did just that. So now, moving on, baby. It is game time. It's time right now. It is game time. And you have put all your love and passion, and as critical as you are about so many things, honey, this wardrobe was hitting. Let's go. Let's get into it. So let's first start with the Queen's Walk. Boom. I mean, I mean,
I really liked my Queen's Walk dress. And for me, I wanted sparkle, right? But I just had a feeling I wanted the blue sequins, of course. I think most queens wanted the blue sequins, but I was like, if I just do blue sequins, I'm worried about everybody having my dress, and I need to give it a little bit of originality. And I love me a good blazer dress. It's very business corporate. And so I really love this.
you look good. Now let's talk about the money dress. The
Yes.
dress. The money dress.
Yes. Okay, so day wear, you know what? I was just telling my first runner up from DMV, Tania, she's become one of my dearest friends. I was telling her that day wear was just the hardest category for me, to be
Mhm.
honest. And the reason, of course, day wear is the hardest category is because you have to have one color, right? So you can't have multiple colors, right, on your outfit, like, right, I guess I want to say neck to ankles, right?
Well, let's be, you have to have one color, but you can have different variations of that color.
Yeah, so you can have, like, for example, on my sleeve, you see I have three shades of green. I have a
Mhm.
neon green, a kind of like an olive green, and then I have the green of my dress, the money green, right?
Mhm.
And so, yes, you can have multiple shades or hues of the same color, but you're stuck to one color. And so I was just like, it was difficult for me. And then no rhinestones, no jewels, you know, and it's a day wear. And so, I mean, I think it came out. I'll be okay. So for me, my critical self, right? So I liked my day wear outfit. It was very difficult for me, and yeah, it was just hard. I like it, but I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It was just, but I think it came together. What do you think?
I love it.
Love it.
I love it because not only did it embody who you were as a whole, because baby, you are about that boss woman look. And I feel like it gave, and all of the options, but we are not going into the options on this live. Okay, we're not. But through all the options,
Director, I gotta say something on this live. My director, okay, I had options, and my director was like, "No, ma'am, no, I'm not doing these options, and this no." And I was just like, "Okay." I want to. Can we put the photo up? I want to do one shout out.
yes, ma'am.
So I had some great sponsors during this during my reign. I've had some great, I still have them because I'm using them for my budget brunch, and they're going to give me some raffle items, and so I'm big on sponsors, and I've had a good community in a village pour into me. And one of my sponsors, with Love Creation, made these earrings for me, and she made a couple other pieces, and they are some those tassel earrings are amazing. So with Love Creations, I just want to give them a shout out. Thank you so much for the sponsorship.
Thank you, Love Creation. But it gave you that pop because you can play with pop of color in your accessories and shoes.
Yeah.
And you figured out how to do it without have to having rhinestones and all
Yes.
these other things. And it looked amazing. Let's just also talk about the ending of your introduction for Daywear, your speech, honey, when the whole room said, "Let's get this
Money.
money,"
Yes.
we exploded in that
I
space.
loved it. I did hear that. You can hardly hear anything on that stage. I mean, I can't because I be running, but I can hardly hear anything on the stage. But I did hear the money, 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 and it made me feel like my village is here. They know what I'm about, and they're supporting me, and so I felt good about that.
It was definitely a hit. Now, of course, well, not of course, because some of you may not know, but in addition to Natalie being crowned our Miss Full Figure DMV Plus Queen 2021, she was also crowned our Miss Full Figure DMV Swimwear Queen.
Swimwear.
Honey, and here is her swimwear national.
Yeah, my swimwear was giving. I really feel look, my swimwear was giving. Um, I this was of course this was honestly a design that I drew out that I wanted. I bought the fabric, I picked the fabric, and then somebody created it for me. And it was kind of because, of course, again, I'm not a designer, okay? And I really just see something, I like it. I think of something, I like it. It really probably only works for me and nobody else. Some of my people that create it will say, Natalie, we don't know what you're doing. So it got created and it kind of came out funky. And then another shout out, Milk and Honey. She is a designer here in the DMV. She's also one of my sorority sisters. She's a Zeta. She flew in from London actually like 3 days before. She just flew in because she had a fashion shoot in London. And I was like, Tiffany, I need you to fix my swimsuit in like ASAP because I'm going to national. And so she managed, I mean, not managed, she's amazing. And so she fixed up my swimsuit. I really like this. It was like kente and some like emerald green. I did green in almost everything that, not almost, I did green in everything that I wore except for my evening gown and my preliminary. Green is my color. I really am branding it for my platform and I like it. And I enjoyed it. Swimwear was fun.
Swimwear was cute. Now let's just talk about me fussing at my queen about slowing down. Okay. She spent so much time in this wardrobe and in rehearsals with her dear director and perfecting her walk. Baby, the baby got on the stage. It was like, I am here. Do you see me? Okay, you see me? I said, Speedy Gonzalez, if you don't slow down. And
Oh my god.
and then I found out that, not too long after our conversation, the love of her life
Oh yeah.
husband was the one to slow her down. It was
Yes.
evening well, but he slowed her down. Let's
I'm
talk about that, sweetheart.
yes. Okay, so transparent moment again. You guys, I don't do runway. I don't do modeling. I'm the stage is not, people always say, yeah, right, Natalie, but the stage is not for me. And I think Director Lorraine has gotten to see that I like, I prefer we really practiced me walking on that stage. And I had extra practice, and I picked up very well. But when I got on that stage and I just heard all those people when I didn't really know what they were saying and all the lights, and I was like, okay, I have to either Director Lorene, either I'm not going on stage or I'm just gonna go on there real quick, present my stuff, and get off. I didn't say that to her, but in my mind. And so then I just went on there, and I knew I was going fast. I did not quite know it was that fast, but it's a combination of course, my anxiety. I not that comfortable doing like runway and stage walking. And so, yes, I got that text message, and it was like, please tell Natalie to slow down. People would like to take a moment to for her beauty. I can't even remember what it says now. They wanted to get a moment to bask in her beauty or something like that. And I was like, oh, that was the perfect way to say it, because my best friend, one of my best friends, Nia, was my backstage help. And every time I came back, she was like, you need to slow down. Like, what are you doing? I was like, and I'm just like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Just help me with my stuff. Like, it's so we have a great relationship. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Just get me in my next outfit. And she's like, I really think you need to slow down. I don't know. Like, I don't know how this is supposed to go, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to go that fast.
Yes.
Nobody else is going that fast. I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, who cares? Let's move on. And so, yes, of course, she was right. Nobody else was going that fast, and I needed to slow down.
Well, what I will say though, I you're when it comes to the pageant stage, and that's what most people must understand, and this is why people go, no, really, Natalie, because you have the ability, even in your speed, to show your grace and poise,
Oh,
right? So being in pageantry is mostly about grace and poise, and you have to have a certain type of demeanor. Period. You know what I mean? It's more about showcasing who you are. So, baby, if you through getting through this, honey, I'm showing y'all what I got going on.
yeah.
This is about getting through who you are. Modeling is more about fashion for the person that you're selling a garment for.
Yeah.
You are selling who you are. You are not selling, you're presenting what type of queen you will be and what essence you have in being that queen. Because I really look at all of your presentation as a whole. So I'm looking at it as a whole, and I see everything that I know about this woman. I know you proud in your blue based off your sorority and how much you love who you are. And then when you get into your green, the time that you put into your platform, it shows that you really care about making sure women understand what it looks like for them to be in control of their finances. And then to have a little fun when you get to save that money. That's what I read
Yes.
when it comes through your wardrobe and your swimwear, and the fact that you took and made everything cohesive. And when I talk about these colors all coming together, I can only think about one outfit. Baby, let's get into this fashion.
Let's get into this fashionista, because listen, sis, listen. Okay, nobody can tell me that my fashionista was not everything. Like, seriously, like, my fashionista was just everything. I loved it. I had fun with this. I really had, okay, I say all the time, people, if you know me, you will know I say all the time, I'm not a model. I always be like, I'm not a blogger, and I'm not a fashionista. Like, and I almost didn't do this category. I almost didn't do this category. Um, but I decided when I was preparing that I wanted to have and take a moment to make sure that I enjoy the pageant and participate in as many things that I can on stage in that day, right? Um, I it was a intentional choice, and for that I was very fun about my fashionista. And I think we talked about it before, and I was almost like, I even said, I was like, if I don't win, I'm okay, but I want to do this. I think it's gonna be fun. We practiced my little dance, and I just enjoyed it, and I think it came together very well.
You look gorgeous. And then, so from this conversation on, you are not permitted to say, I am not a model. You are permitted to say, I am a queen who did what she needed to do. Because
Okay.
you must understand, like I just described, there's a difference between a model and a queen. You wasn't doing model
Yes.
activities. You were doing queen activities, sweetheart, and that's what you are. So yes, you represent and embody that well.
Okay.
Okay, so
Says
that's where we at.
queen that did what she needed to do.
She needs to be done, and that's wrapped up in that beautiful little bundle there.
Yeah.
So now, in fact, all the categories are done. Right, all the categories are done. Now we not all the categories, but now we're down to the finale. The finale is the evening wear. By this time, I know after having conversations, where were you at in your mind at this time? Now we're preparing for evening gown. And I know, first of all, let me give my own shout out to Nia. Nia, thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank you, best friend. That's my sister. Thank you.
Because I tell you, she was praying on you and God made a way for you to be there with her, and it was definitely something that was befitting for her situation. So we thank you for being able to be there, because let's be very clear, Nia flew to be there with you from California, to be
Yes.
there with you in Georgia, along with a couple of your other friends that also flew to be there with you. But Nia, we love you, girl. You
Yes.
you
I
know
want to give one shout out to them. So, yes, my friends are amazing. I have the best friends in the world. They're a very good support system. And Nia did. She not only flew to Georgia, she flew here because we had a rehearsal. So she flew to Washington, D.C., and then she flew to Georgia, like really literally 1 week apart, just for me to prepare for this pageant. So she definitely, look, we won this crown together. Listen.
yes, ma'am. And you know, it we are when I say we, I am specifically talking about what we built in the DMV division specifically. It is so important that everybody who wants to be a part to making our next set of queens go to the next level are welcome to, right? It's
Yes.
like, if you want to be there to help, baby, come on. We can use all the hands that we
Yes.
can use. And on the final rehearsal, we had our inaugural queen in the building, Miss Relita Clark, who was also
Yes.
Queen Relita Clark. We had our very first plus queen, Miss Latrice Wiggins, who was
Yes.
also our very first plus queen to bring home the national crown to the DMV area. We also had our current reigning national queen, Gabriella, who was able to come. We had our queen, Shamika Miller, exquisite,
Yes.
who was able to come. We had our ambassador, Tisa,
Yes.
who was able to
Yes.
be there. We had our best friend and our first runner-up and our sister Tania that
Yes.
was there as well. Baby, if I'm missing anybody, I do
Shout
apologize.
out to Ambassador Tisa. Shit. Tisa, I love you. Like, I just, Ambassador Tisa is amazing. She has a warm soul. She is a sister's keeper. I love her. I really do. I've gotten to just like, it's interesting too because I feel like you get to know people, like it's just organic. Like I'm getting to know everybody as my relationship grows with the DMV, right? And there's she's amazing. Tisa, you're amazing.
We've been blessed. I mean, since day one, God said, I'm gonna give you someone who's gonna ride or die with you, and that was been Queen Relita since day
Yeah.
one. And then I got blessed with all of the women who are a part of this organization. Now, I have
Yeah.
said this over and over again. We're not it's not peaches and creams all the way, all the
Yeah.
time. It's really not.
Yeah.
It's really, really not. But you know, when you don't have displacement on when certain things go a certain way and you can honestly be accountable for things, you're able to grow through things. And that's what I love about what happens in a DMV, you know, in a majority, right?
Yeah.
In the majority. We
Yeah.
do have some people who might not be around, but it's okay. We love you too for far where you at. But you know, and let's also say that that also was a day that Queen Melanie had a lot going on, but she made it in
Yeah.
that space and she was there and she was present. And Queen Kia, oh my God, that woman, let me tell you something. Her drive is just simply amazing.
Who, Queen Kia?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You
Right.
know, that
That's
day was really, I think, not I think, I know, that rehearsal. So, of course, I tell you guys said already that I'm my own biggest critic and I'm very much a perfectionist, right? And so before the yeah, she is. Hi, Tania. I had asked for this dress rehearsal, right? I was like, I really would like to have this dress rehearsal, and I was so happy that my director obliged me, and that my queen sisters were like, yeah, we do need it, because it was actually a really good time um for us to come together, show our support system, and felt supported, right? People came in, just seeing what we were planning to do. I mean, of course, it's a week before, but they're seeing what we're planning to do, and we can strategize together. And I think, not I think, I keep qualifying, but for me, and I think everybody that was there felt like it was something that was essential to the way we performed.
I agree. And it was definitely an opportunity for us to get some last minute things in place and have things where it needs to be. So I'm going to post this picture because this moment right here, when I walked past this moment, I literally had my own look, Lorraine, don't you be crying right now, neither. I had my tears trying to suck them back up because I know what the three of you did to prepare for this because we was a part of this journey as a whole, right? And my God, just to see the three of you together in this moment, it's like we're at the final point of this right now. And I just wanted to hug y'all so tight, but of course I wasn't in the right clothes yet, so I had to run and go back and put on my
Yes.
evening gown to get ready for things. But I just wanted to also take this moment to tell everyone that although the other two queens are not present today, they are definitely present in a whole in spirit. Today, we're definitely celebrating Queen Natalie's newly crowned, but I believe that the spirit of all three of them together won this crown together.
Yes.
And which bring us to this magnificent point where we can all bask in the glory of the victory of the crown that was brought back home to the DMV area. And just looking at the three of you, it just gives me like amazing chills of love and encouragement and uplifting and embracing what was achieved there that night. And that was the moment that you guys kind of walked through. And I know it was like, I'm going to get on this stage. And that's also the moment where it manifested that you needed to slow down, right?
It was. I yes, that moment, in between evening gown is an intermission, right? And FYI, they should always have that because it gives you a moment to slow down, right? Um, and that's what it did. So it gave me a moment to slow down. It gave me a moment to think. It gave us a moment to take that photo, right? Because every other category was just so quick. And so yes, it all came together like this is the final this is the final presentation that I'll get to make of myself, right? This is the final time that the judges will get to see me. This is the final time that my family and friends and everybody in the audience will get to see me. It's the evening gown is the most points. So, so listen, so that was very important to me because right, if I'm getting on the stage, my goal was to win, and so evening gown is the most points. So it was like everything was riding on that. So having that moment to slow down was essential.
It was a beautiful moment. It was the moment that, of course, I'm not breathing yet because I still have to wait till all the results
Yeah.
are brought in. And the most nerve wracking situation is always waiting for the results to come out. And and then when the results are out and then you heard your name. Let's talk about that moment.
Well, let's talk about that moment. So I wish we had the other photo of me and Queen Relita
Mm,
because I was literally during the crowning, I was having an anxiety attack. I was watching what happened, and I was just watching the crowning and what was going on, and I just started to have an anxiety attack. And I was right in front of my family's table, right? So I was like, I need some water. And I had a sip of water, and I was like, oh, this is not working. And I looked over on the other side of the room, and it was the DMV, it was the table of DMV table of plus queens, which included Queen Latrice and Queen JL, and Queen Walita had went to go sit over there because, of course, backstage is done. It's now the crowning. And so I looked over at Queen Latrice and I said, I'm having an anxiety attack. Like, and she's like, I can see her trying to read my lips. And I'm like I could barely get it out, but I think she got the message and she sent Queen Relita over. And thank God that she did, because I was like, Queen Relita, I can't breathe. I can breathe because I'm talking, but I'm literally about to pass out. My throat is closing up. And Cremelita was like, "What? No, like you can't do this right now." She was like, "Let's just breathe." You know, Cremelita has this thing where she's like, "Breathe through your mouth, out through your nose." Right? All this, and I'm like, "Okay, what?" So she really walked me through that because I no, like, I was about to. I'm not playing. I was about to pass out. I was just too nervous. I was too much anxiety. It was just too. It was overwhelming. So when they called the first runner up, and I was like, okay, I think I have a chance. I have a chance still. I have a chance still. And so I was like, Carolina was still there, holding my hand, and then they called my name, and I was just like. I, I I was like, oh my goodness. I think every time they call my name, I just get like a shock. I'm serious. And people are like, what? I'm like, no, I just get a shock. Because you do not know. Like you don't know what the you don't know. You don't know. Like everybody comes out, they present themselves well, everybody puts effort into this. It's not like anybody gets up there and it's like, oh, I'm just showing up today for nationals, right? Everybody prepares and intensely prepares, and
They work hard.
they work hard, right? And so
Yeah.
it's like you just never know where the chips are going to lie. So it was amazing when they called my name. I was very happy. I felt a sense of relief. I felt a sense of joy. I felt a sense of readiness to continue. I mean, just continue.
Because Queen, as you know, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yes.
And I know for me, for me, standing up there being part of the team that takes and award the women as they come. As a director too, you're like, Lordy have mercy. You like, call my baby's name, right? I'm like, I'm doing that for all three of you. I want to see it because actually hearing your name called is sometimes the most ultimate reward in that position when you there.
Yes.
But I have been shown by the grace of our queens, including Queen Kia and Queen Melanie in this point, that it was so many other crowns that they took away from that situation. And it just shows me also that the spirit that I see, that this right here, this quote right here, was what they embodied through that process. That's
It's,
what they embodied in a massive of that process. But for we speaking on you, when
wait, I
they
want to speak on one person before me. Sorry.
no problem.
My exquisite queen, Queen Kia, she is just the epitome of grace. She is the epitome of grace, and I can't say it enough. She's just very graceful. It's amazing. Not many people have, in reality, not many people have that type of spirit. Not many people are like Queen Kia. So she is very amazing.
Very graceful. Very, very
Very,
graceful.
very.
And that's why she's an exquisite, honey. Y'all talking about
Yes.
me, but it's that green for me because I'm over 40 now. Just talking
Listen.
it's such a beautiful thing. But I'll tell you, the moment that I was in when they called your name and they said, all I had to hear was Natalie, and then in my head, my lips said Babaniyi. Babaniyi. And I was like, "Ooh, girl, you gotta keep still. You gotta keep still because you gotta stay still. You can't jump up and down again like you did last week because I was all over the place. And I was like, ooh, you gotta refine yourself. Be still. And then I know we had to get you up the steps because I did. That's when I knew something was going on and
Yeah.
you was having a little bit of an issue because you came up and you was like, I'm good. You know, you're like you're
Yeah.
good now. And
Yeah.
you sat there
Yeah.
and you got your crowning moment. And it was just such a beautiful thing in its entirety, which ended up being this moment right here. Yes, there
Yeah.
she goes. There
Yes.
she goes. And she continues on the legacy of Miss Full Figure DMV Plus Division, being crowned queen for Miss Full Figure USA. You
And
are,
shout out to Toby.
yes,
Shout out to Toby on my dress. I'm a piece of work. I am a piece of work, and I know I can't sew it all, okay? But I know what I want. I know how I like things to fit my body. Um, I'm very big on fabrics. Like I'll get fabrics, and people are like, "This is not for this design," and I'm like, "Yeah." But this is the fabric I want. And we have to put it for this design. So Toby designed my DMV dress. She sewed my DMG dress and she sewed this dress. And so just shout outs to Toby Stitches. She's amazing too.
she is amazing. The dresses that she has created is just simply fabulous. You know, she was nice enough to tell y'all that designer name. You know, I'll be trying to tell the designer's
Oh,
name.
don't worry. I'm gonna let me put it on the live. She's not sewing. Listen, I can tell you because see, she's not sewing for anybody. She's so look, if you have a personal event that you want to do, and you know that's on the weekend or something, she'll sew for you. She's great. But if you're competing in the pageant, she is committed to me that she's doing DMV only. So for the pageants, I'm sorry, you know, that's just the reality, but she has committed to me that for pageants, she will be doing DMV only if we're competing. Now, if there's no DMV competing, like for example, in at large, have your run at it. But, but if it's something that one of the DMV queens are competing in, she won't be sewing, but she is wonderful. No, right? You know what I mean? It's great. She's great, and you know, use her for everything else except for that, and that's wonderful.
Well, Queen, you know, I want to take this moment for you to do, um, uh, to basically just really talk and bask into the fact what's next for our USA Plus Queen. What's coming up? I know the holidays are here. I mean, people give her a break. We're not probably doing anything after the new year. However, I want to
Yes.
give you a sneak peek on what our queen have planned for months to come.
Okay, perfect. I really want to bask in this rain and be a service to my sisters and to the women around me. Like I'm big on again service and the women around me. So you will see my budget brunch. You will see my budget brunch come up again this year. It's likely going to be in March. You will see me attending my other sisters' pageants. You will see a few financial literacy programs for me. And you will see some community services from me, and you'll see me supporting other people's community service. I'm really big. I'm not. Director Lorene knows this. I'm not always a in front of the scenes. I'm not an in front of the scenes type of person usually, right? Like this is why I did the pageant. Right? And so you'll see me supporting a lot of my queen sisters. I want to partner with a lot of my queen sisters. I've been reaching out to just other queens um to partner with them and just make this reign about sisterhood and service. That is my mission for my reign.
And you know that goes right to my heart, girl. You know it hits me right here. Which wait a minute, what side is it on? It's up in here,
Yeah.
right? So it hits me right on. Queen, I am so super proud of you. I know that this is gonna be one for the record books again.
Yes.
You're going to make an amazing impact, and I look forward to being a part of this journey as well. I know, heck, I'm not mad at you. You don't compete anywhere else because you will always be my queen.
Listen, I'm not competing anymore. Like,
You
yeah,
you will always be my queen, and I know that you'll always be willing to give back to the sisterhood in its entirety to make sure the women that comes after you understand the importance of the support that was given to you and those moving forward. It's
yes,
just something to say about a woman of your caliber, and that you don't see yourself in a position that is above anyone, and you see yourself in a position where you can be a helping hand to those around you. And that just really like
mm,
runs me in so many ways because that's how I see my life as a director,
yeah,
as a person that's been here of a service to those around me.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, no one is above the group, boo. Nobody's above the group.
No,
We gotta put. I love that. I love that TikTok. I love that TikTok.
yes,
And I also think individually we play a part. And when we do that and we do it well, we make the beautiful picture that all our puzzle pieces come together for.
yes.
So, Queen, you did that, girl. You did that.
Thank
You
you.
and I know everybody was wondering, it don't take me that long to make sure I'm bragging around you.
Listen, you look.
I'm bragging around a
Listen,
little.
you about to pull out your jacket. She is about to pull out her jacket, y'all. She's about to pull out her jacket.
Hold
And she
on.
done added 2022. Look it, she is already in there. Listen. Listen. Wait, we don't see my crown. We don't see it. Where's that? Okay, okay, okay. We see it. We see it.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah,
I want
I'm so excited about it in its entirety. And as a whole, again, I want to send out nothing but love and appreciation to Queen Kia and Queen Melanie. You did
to
a
yes,
phenomenal job, ladies.
I do.
We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you.
Yes.
And stay tuned to us. Stay tuned in to Miss Full Figure DMV and Miss Full Figure USA. And
Yes.
especially tune into yourself. I'm gonna say that. Why I say that is because once we understand what we can give to others
Yes.
by taking care of ourselves, the world can be a better place in its entirety. And
Yes.
we need more of that. We need a whole lot more of that. And I wanted to also say, Queen, you have your standard planner,
I
which
do.
if some of you are trying to get started in your financial balance, that's a great place to start. Can you give
Yes.
everybody information on that? Look, I'm just ready to give them everything.
Listen, yes. Standards Planner, you can look at the website and then or you can find me on Instagram, and Instagram has all the links, right? And the Standards Planner, it's a planner that assists women in being intentional about their finances daily. So it has monthly challenges, it has financial terms to research, and it just encourages you every day to be intentional about your finances because it's a marathon. It's not a race. Um, it is it's not a sprint, right? It is a marathon, and it's building generational wealth takes time. I am very much of like the slow millionaire process is what I believe in, right? Like you save, you invest, and gradually your wealth will accrue, right? So um I just that is the planner is wonderful. I created it, but I created it honestly originally for myself. I created a tool that I needed to get my finances in order. It did a phenomenal job for me, and I wanted other people to be able to use it. And so, check me on Instagram and Standards Planner, and you can look me at Fat Pretty and Budget Traveling, and you'll see all my links. Um, and I did want to say one more thing, if you'll oblige me. I want to just thank everybody. Like, I am so happy. Everybody that's just poured into me, my village. I want to thank the DMV Sister Circle. I want to thank, yes, I want to thank my plus queens. It's the plus for me. I want to thank, I just want to thank you guys for pouring into me. I'm very grateful. I'm actually planning a thank you. It's going to be a small, not small, it's for small thank you for the people that really poured into me during this. I'll have two thank yous. One will be a raffle because I did a lot of fundraising and sponsorships during my work up to competing. And so, based on those things, I got a lot of donations from my sponsors. So, I'm going to raffle some of those things off to the people that contributed to me. And then I'm also going to host it's going to be kind of a surprise, but I'll tell something about it. It's going to be a little brunch. I think it's going to be like a makeup and sit brunch for the women that really poured into me during this process. So we can just get together and I can say thank you. So those are some things that you'll see from me in the near future.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I take it so personal when it comes to you women as a whole. I really do. And it just really just warms my heart to see when it's in return and in abundance. And Queen, that's what you have continued to do. And I appreciate you for that. And it just add more fuel to the fire. It just add a whole lot more fuel to the fire. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. It was a light night chat, but it was definitely a well-deserved chat to have. It was something that I normally do after the pageant once we get back and settled. But this was the right time. I think everything is done in right time because God have plans and we don't get to choose all the time. Even though we planned this particular situation, but he put us in the space where this can happen. So thank you, Queen. Have a
Thank you, Director Lorene. You're amazing. And I appreciate you from pouring into me and pouring into all of these women. Sometimes it's appreciated, I'm sure, and sometimes it's not. But I know you serve what the purpose that God has put you to serve. And so I hope you continue to find fulfillment in that. And I say thank you.
I appreciate that, and it means a lot. It really does, you know. And look, I'm putting my tidbit in. Make sure that brunch that you having not between March 20th to the 24th when I'm
Oh,
celebrating.
it won't. It won't. It will not be. It will not be. It will not be. But you will not be. I will make sure it is not then,
I want
right?
to make sure. I want to make sure. Before we end in its entirety, I want to let y'all know. Look, guess what? Natalie is where we ultimate goal is for our delegates when they start in their journey in the state pageant. Right now, we are currently open for our 2023 registration for our 2023 Miss Full Figure DMV pageant. It is the seventh year. So if you want to try something new, and you want to take a moment to do three things: learn, grow, and enhance who you are, trust me, we where you want to start. Okay? So
Correct.
take the time to look into it, ladies. Look into it. Oh,
Yes.
and the key thing is you got to be a size 12 and up. And
Yeah.
it's from the ages 18 to 60. And the biggest key is you have to be in the DMV area.
Yes. You got to be in the DMV area and join. Apply and try for the 2023 season. I think it touches everybody. I think it touches every woman that participates. I think everybody gets touched in a different way, but I think it's definitely, I think everybody will find fulfillment if they want to. And so I'm
That
excited to meet you, new delegates for 2023. I'll be around.
look, we're a big family. We come together and we do a whole lot of things together. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening. I want you to have an amazing holiday because I'm sure I probably won't be live again with one of our beautiful queens or myself until after the holidays because it's time for us to relax and release
Yep.
and get some things going and flowing. And one of the things that I have to learn how to do is find balance for life, family, and my passion for pageantry. So I love you, Queen. Have a wonderful evening.
Good
And
night.
we'll talk to you again.
Night.
Bye, bye, bye. So again, thank you. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here with us. Because as we know, your time is your most valuable asset. And the fact that you chose to spend it right now with us is amazing. Happy holidays, everyone, and have a wonderful, wonderful new year. Bye. Oh, and remember, if no one hasn't told you that they love you, let them know Director Lorraine does. Why? Because God says so. Okay, now bye.